Imagine a sporting event so big, so logistically insane that it takes an entire continent to host it. A tournament that forces time zones to bend, rewrites the rule of international football, and unleashes 104 matches in just 39 days. For decades, the FIFA World Cup was contained highly exclusive party, but now just days away from kickoff in June 2026, the gates have blown wide open. We are about to witness an expansion so controversial, so unprecedented, and so astronomically expensive that the beautiful game will literally never be the same again. This isn't just a football tournament. This is the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and here is exactly why it's going to be the absolute biggest, most mind-bending, and biggest event in history. In today's video, we are breaking down the monumental shift in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We are going to explore the radical new 48-team format, the logistical nightmare of playing across three massive countries, the historic billion-dollar stadiums, and the incredible storyline heading into this tournament. If you love deep dives into this tactical, financial, and historical side of the beautiful game, make sure to subscribe right now. We post high quality football documentaries every single week, and you won't want to miss out daily coverage as the tournament unfolds. Let's get into it. To understand why 2026 is such a massive deal, we have to take a look at the numbers, and the numbers for this tournament are frankly staggering. Since 1998, the World Cup has been played with 32 teams. It's widely considered the perfect format, 8 groups of 4, top 2 advances, a clean, flawless bracket of 16 teams battling it out in the knockout stages. It was mathematical perfection. But FIFA doesn't care about perfection. FIFA cares about skills. Welcome to the 48-team era. For the first time ever, the World Cup has expanded by a massive 50%. We are going from 64 total matches in Qatar 2022 to genuinely marathon-like 104 matches in 2026. Why did this happen? The official line is global inclusions. Africa guaranteed slots have jumped from 5 to 9. Asia goes from 4 to 8. North America gets 6 for dozens of nations that have been knocked out the door for decades. Nations with passionate football, crazy populations. This is the golden ticket. But the format change was a roller coaster. Originally, FIFA proposed 16 groups of 3 teams. Critics panicked. Groups of 3 could lead to the infamous disgrace of Dijon scenario from the 1982, where 2 teams could collide in the final group game to ensure they both advance, knocking out the third team. FIFA pivoted. The 2026 World Cup features 12 groups of 4. The top 2 teams automatically advance along with the 8 best third place teams. This creates something completely new. A round of 32 to win the World Cup. A team has to now survive 8 matches instead of 7. It doesn't sound like a lot, but in a compressed summer tournament, that extra 90 minutes potentially going to extra time and penalties is brutal. Physical toll on the human body. Depth, rotation, and sports science have never been more critical. The winner of these tournaments won't just be the most talented team, they will be the ultimate survivors. Hosting a World Cup is usually a localized affair. Even when Japan and South Korea co-hosted in the 2002 World Cup, the footprint was relatively small. 2026 is taking over a continent. For the first time in history, the tournament is being split across 3 Soviet nations: the United States, Mexico, and Canada. The geography is terrifying for managers and fitness coaches. Imagine playing a group stage match in the blazing, humid heat of Miami and then having to fly 3,000 miles to play 3 days later in the Pacific Northwest climate of Seattle and dealing with the extreme high altitude of Mexico City. To prevent players' immunity, FIFA has divided the continent into 3 regional zones for the group stages: West, Central, and East. But once the knockout stage begins, the velvet ropes come down and the cross-continental flights begin. Historically, North America delivers unparalleled spectacle. In 1994, the United States hosted the World Cup. It was a massive gamble. Soccer wasn't even a mainstream sport in America yet. But 1994 still holds the all-time attendance record for a World Cup, averaging nearly 69,000 fans per game. Now combine the unmatched sport infrastructures of the US with the rabid, deep-rooted football culture of Mexico and the booming multicultural enthusiasm of Canada. You have the recipe for shattered records. FIFA expects over 5 million tickets to be sold. The economic impact is projected to be in the billions. Entire cities will be shut down and transformed into month-long fan festivals. The tournament is only as good as its stages, and the stages for 2026 are nothing short of architectural marvels. Let's start with the crown jewel of football history, the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. The Azteca is a cathedral. It is the only stadium on earth that witnessed two of the greatest players in history, Pele in 1970 and Diego Maradona in 1986, lift the World Cup trophy. On June 11th, it made history again as the first stadium to ever host the opening match of 3 separate World Cups. Playing at the Azteca, surrounded by 83,000 screaming fans, is an intimidation tactic built into the concrete itself. But then you cross the border into the United States and you enter the era of the Babylon billion-dollar mega stadiums. Venues like AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and Sophie Stadium in Los Angeles. These aren't just stadiums, they are self-contained cities, wrapped in LEDs, retouchable roofs, and climate-controlled environments. And for the final on June 19th, the eyes of the world will look into MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, staring down the iconic skyline of New York City. The media circuit, the celebrity presence, the sheer corporate and cultural weight of the World Cup final in the New York metropolitan area will be unlike anything sports broadcasting has ever seen. Beyond the stadiums, beyond the money, and beyond the travel miles, a World Cup is remembered for its narratives, and 2026 is a collision course of generations. We are fully entering the post-Messi and Rolando era. This is a tournament where Kylian Mbappe, now in his absolute physical prime, looks to cement himself as the undisputed king of this generation. It's the stage where prodigies like Jude Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. must prove they can carry the weight of England and Brazil on their shoulders. Then there is the pressure on the hosts. The United States main national team has been building for this exact moment for a decade. This is the golden generation playing on home soil in front of record-breaking crowds. The pressure on to make deep runs to reach the semifinals is astronomical. Failure is not an option when the whole country is watching you. And let's not forget the underdogs with 48 teams. We are guaranteed a Cinderella story. A nation that has never tasted glory will pull off an upset that will be talked about in their home country for the next 500 years. That is the magic of the World Cup. It doesn't matter how rich your domestic league is or how much your stadium costs. When you step into the grass, it's 11 versus 11. 104 matches, 48 teams, 3 nations. We are standing on the peak of footballing event that will shatter broadcasting records, redefine international travels, and push the athletes into the absolute brink of human endurance. It's too big to fail and too chaotic to predict. The 2026 World Cup is here and it's going to be an absolute spectacle. But what do you think? Is 48 teams too many, ruining exclusivity of the tournament? Or is it exactly the kind of global expansion the beautiful game needs? Let me know down in the comments right now. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, we are covering the 2026 World Cup from every angle, all tournament long. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.